16. When he had spoken such words to me. Now, okay, verse 14. Now I have come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days. Okay, so what was Daniel's prayer? God, what are you going to do with Israel in the end? Or as we understand what's going to happen with the Messiah, he'll be cut off. But what about Israel in the end? He's still praying the same prayer. And God has brought him the answer to his prayer. When he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground, and I became dumb. Oh, pay attention to verse 14. For yet the vision is for many days. Now this is in contrast to weeks. In other words, here this statement is that this is a long time in coming, Daniel. And indeed it has been a long time in coming, hasn't it? See, we have seen the 70 weeks of Daniel fulfilled. We've seen the Christ Messiah come. We look back to that, but yet this is a prophecy which is of many days. And it's been 2,000 years. And so I would say to you, I would submit to you tonight, Christian, from the book of Daniel, that Jesus' coming is imminent. And Daniel was to understand that. See, what would be significant for Daniel after... What matters to you when you're dead in this world? Not much. One thing, though, the things of God. Because that's all that matters to you when you're in heaven is God and the things of God. And so the question would be, what's God going to do on earth? And so Daniel's desire to know doesn't have to do with his personal involvement. Most of what matters to us on this earth is what we're involved in, right? Richard Coyle used this illustration when he was here, and I appreciated it. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to copy it, or maybe I'll reinvent it another way and claim it's my own. But he talked about how that we think that we're loving, caring people, and he gave the illustration of a fire. And he says, you know, as you're on your way home, you see fire trucks come past you, you pull over, and they go down the road. And as you go down the road, you see them turn, you know, on a street that's, you know, a mile from your home, and you turn on that street behind them, and then you see them make another turn, and they turn into your neighborhood. And as you turn into your neighborhood, you see them again turn on your block, and you turn onto your block behind them. And as the fire truck goes down the street, they go right down by your house, and they turn into your neighbor's driveway. And you say, whew. He says, you don't love people as much as you think you do. If you loved your neighbor, you'd be, oh man, I wish it was my house that burned, not theirs. Right? And it's a good illustration of, you know, we think that we're better than we are, and the truth is, if you really loved your neighbor, you wouldn't want something bad to happen to them instead of you. If you love God, our attitude on this earth, in this world is, then, we want things, we want to know so that we know how we're going to come out, right? You ever subtly ask a question? Maybe you, because of the ministry the Lord's given us, my wife and I have not had a permanent home for very long in any place, just because of the nature of our ministry. And because of that, I'm a person with many tools, many belong. I do all kinds of different things. And, you know, the Lord's going to give me a garage someday, but I don't have one. And because I don't have a garage, many times I store things at other people's houses. And as I store them at other people's houses, things happen to their houses and my things are destroyed. On a daily basis, usually, but if not daily, weekly. And that's a fact. I'm not talking about Brother Chris's place. This has happened everywhere I've ever gone. And so your friend tells you, yeah, you know what, my roof caved in and everything got wet and it was in the garage. And my question was, what part of the garage? I hope it didn't, you know, tear up your ceiling real bad. You know, and what I'm really thinking is, where's my tools at? You know, did it get my tools? You know, and usually they casually, oh yeah, everything of yours is ruined, but my stuff's all right. You know, yeah, the scrap guy came by this week and he picked up some things that, man, he took all your stuff and took it for scrap. I heard that one this week. and so I didn't give him permission, but I should have watched him. Sorry about that. Those sort of things happen. And you know what we're concerned with in life? We're concerned about the things that affect us and that cost us. And that's what we usually want to know. And Daniel's prayer is not about things that affect him. It's about what God is going to do. He wants to know the heart of God. And so God reveals it to him. Verse 16, behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men. So this is a contrast to different angel here. Michael came to help him. And the idea here, I think, is that probably Michael was present. The scripture would indicate if Michael came to help him, Michael was his escort, would have brought him. And so there's probably a small host of angels that have come to Daniel. Well, then we see another one, like the similitude of the sons of men. So one has a certain man clothed in linen whose loins are girded with fine gold of Uphaz in verse 5. In verse 16, this one's like the similitude of the sons of men. So this is the sons of men would be reference to angels. O my Lord, by the vision my sorrows are turned upon me, and I've retained no strength, is what he says. Verse 17, for how can the servant of this my Lord talk with this my Lord? For as for me, straightway there remained no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me. Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me and said, O man greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee, be strong, yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto me, so here's another one, another angel. And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Then said he, Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I'm gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. Now, what's significant about the prince of Grecia? Remember the 4 horns, the 4 kingdoms. And this is a reference to the fact that there's going to be this prince of Greece in the same way there's a prince of Persia. And we're to understand that there's a powerful satanic force at work in each of these nations. Christian, there's powerful satanic forces at work in nations, particularly nations that are without God, nations that do not worship God. And the more a nation worships gods other than the God of the Bible, other than the true and living God, the more that a nation falls into paganism and idolatry, the more that there is a presence of there's a satanic presence, and of course there's much more conflict going on in those places. I do not wish to at all give place to the devil this evening, but I want to mention a couple of things that I find interesting in countries, and we're not talking about educational level, but in countries where God is not honored. Countries where God is not honored, there are very few atheists. Did you know that? It's interesting. The more pagan a nation is, the less atheism there is. Just do a little research on it and you'll come to understand what I mean. Why would that be?
There's no need for it.
Well, there's no need for it. For one thing, yeah.
Because there's spiritual stuff going on.
Because there's so much stuff going on that those people are believers. Not in God, but they believe in the spiritual world, my friend. They don't try to say there is no life after death, there's no God, that's a bunch of nonsense. They've seen enough to convince them. And they would laugh you to scorn. It's interesting, when I went to South America and preached a while back, I didn't meet a single atheist there. The question was, who is God, not is there God? And it was refreshing to witness to people that actually believed in God. You just told him who he was, instead of having to tell him that he exists. But is in the less godly a culture, the more there's an understanding that there is a God. And it's because there's more satanic influence, and of course the people are aware of that. They've seen things, they've heard things, they've experienced things that are terrible, and they certainly would have an understanding of it. And do you know that in America a lot of people don't even believe in the devil? America, a lot of people don't even believe in the devil. And I believe that the reason for that, and this is not bragging, this is sad because it's becoming less and less so. The reason for that is because the devil has not had a great stronghold in America. Oh, he's got his places. And I think that unfortunately, because God's people have not turned to him, that it's becoming more and more wicked. And the more wicked it gets, the faster the road to destruction will be. And this angel has brought Daniel a message, and now he's going to go and he's going to fight with the prince of Persia. He won that battle. In case you're wondering, God's angels don't get killed. They need reinforcements maybe, but they don't get killed. And after he won that battle, he fought one with the prince of Greece. And after that, he fought one with the prince of Rome. And after he fought that one, so on and so forth. And the day